Okay, so what we got there is the D bass note first, and then second to third string. We got the C bass here and the 3 and open down here, and then the G bass to the chord down there, and then we're kind of not hitting that bottom E string yet. So, and you can kind of hit this D string on the way down, and he kind of has like a chuk-chung, so you could think of it as like a 3-0-3 or like a 3 and a muted and a 3. So he kind of has that chuk-chung in there, so it's like. Now this first riff is going to go. So it's O2 and then O and the D. Pull off to the 2 down here and then pull off the 2 O and the G. So a variety of ways you could use your fingers on that. I think that's how I used to do it the most, was like hammer the first one and then do the pull off on that one so you could reach that finger there. Then you got a O2, open, open. Okay, now you got the other guitar is going to come in with. So you got the 7 on the G. Kind of slides back, 9, 7, and back. And then you got. So that's open to 2 open to the D, and then 4 to open to the D. Bend that 5 up a whole step. And if you were waiting to do the other part, you like dum dum chicum ba dum dum chicum ba dum dum chan. Okay, then we're into just chords on this instead of single notes. So the first one of those might be another repeat of that. So listen for that, but later it kind of settles into a more easy thing. Now we have this riff up here, 7, 8, 9. So what that is like part of a D chord, and you're going 7, 8, 9 into the 3 of the D, into that D chord there. You're gonna hit that bang, 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 slide this down, and that's part of a C chord down there. And then 1, 2. So it's 1, 2 on the A, D string, G string, G string again, G bass. Do it again. Then you have a. So that was a little open 2 on the A to the D. Then we're in the next verse. In the chorus. So this one, O2, D, G, pull off 2 to O on the D, O to 2 on the A there. You're gonna slide that into that 5th fret. We're gonna have a power chord here on this D, so it's. You gotta hit that 9th fret on the D string with that little power chord thing with the pinky there. We got. This one goes boom, boom, chicka, boom, and then O2, O2, O3. So that was. Now we go. ends up being 5 sets of that. It seems like triplets, but it's really like 16th notes, and so they start getting offset around the beat there, so it's kind of tricky. And then we slide the 3 to the 5 to get into the chords again. First part. Then we go F, C, and that starts the solo. Bar thing at the end there. So that solo is 15th fret, small string, bend it down, and then go. That's part of your D shape there. 14, 15, 14, back to that 15. So that's 10 to 8, and then 11, 10, 8. So it's back to the 10 to the 9. So 8, 10, 9, bend the 10. So we got. So here we have 7 and 9 on the G, 8, 10, 8, bend the 10. So this one has a chromatic and also hits this 7 a little early. And then we got the whammy bar. So once again, we got. Okay, then we're in verse. And this one has an FC. Has that boo-hoo. Going in the chorus. That's where your solo starts right there. So let's look at a couple other things. Let's look at this Gary Rossington riff. So when we get into a verse, we got. But you got a guitar behind that going. Okay, so that waits till after the D, and it goes. Open to 3, the bottom 2 strings, the little 2 strings. So it's like, and then 3, open, 3, and then 3 to 3. And then we're gonna slide that 3 into 5. Little 3, slide that back. And supposedly this tune came from Gary Rossington messing with this riff at rehearsal. And Ed King got there and he put the D, C, and G chords behind it. And then he came up, like he supposedly dreamed his whole guitar solo, and Al Cooper fought him on it and everything. But we'll get into that guitar solo in the next lesson. But we're gonna keep on with this. This is the Gary Rossington part again. 3, 4. Okay, and let's look at this riff up here one more time. We got. Okay, let's run one more verse. 3, 4. Into the chorus. Okay, so that's basically how it rolls out on that studio recording. Like say after the solo, you got. And then he's got this tricky harmonic thing. So that thing was. So D string 12, bend the 14 on the G, pull off to the 12, and we got. So that's 10 on the B. 10, 11, hammer on, 12, 12, and then pull off 12 to 10, and then harmonics, 7th fret of the D string, 12th fret of the B string, 7th fret of the D string, 5th fret of the G string. Okay, so that's the beginning of The Needle and the Spoon by LYNYRD SKYNYRD. We're going to start out with this intro. We have a D kind of a shape, but we're only going to use the D bass note, 4th string, and then that 3 on the 2nd string. We're going to go. So we switch to the C bass here. We got 3 on the A string, 3, and then open, 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 down to the D, G, and D strings there. So we got. And then we're going to go. Kind of like slight bend on that. Second one there to make it a little bluesy. So we go 3, 3, open, and then open again. We have O, 2, 2, 3 on the A string. So it's. We're back to the first part. So we do that 3 times. So it's going to go. Now this 4th one is going to start the same. It's going to go. So that's 5 on the G string. A little half step bend on the D string 5. 3 on the D. 5 on the A. So. And then try to slide it up to the octave of that D note, which would be the 17th fret. Okay, let me start on the main riff of the tune. I'm calling this riff A. We pop back into that, and then we're in a verse. So we have a D power chord, 5, 7, 7. 3 times we're going to hit this, and the 3rd time we're going to slide down to that C chord. So when you slide to the C chord, kind of hit the C bass and then the chord again. So it's. And then you kind of slide up to the 8th fret to get that F. So it's. So you go 8, 8, 5. You're going to kind of come in with the A bass, open on the A, and then C chord back into the D for the second half. So we got. We're going to go to the F down here, this power chord, 1, 3, 3, and the big strings there. But before we do, we're going to have an E bass down to that D power chord a couple times. Into that O, 2, 2, 3, and then we're into a verse. So one more time in this riff A, we got 3, 4. Okay, then we're in the verse, we're going to go. Just like the beginning part, but then the next part we're gonna go up through the chord. O, 2, 3. And then right at the last second before we go to the C type of chord, we're going to have an open G. So we got, there's that G. This is going to go 3, open, open, but then a quick open, open after that. So, and that leads into the, so a little bend on the 3 and the D, open G, bend on that 3 to the open D. We're going to hit this A note, this 2 here, and then one of those again. So the whole thing is. Okay, so it's just the same thing twice through there. D power chord for the chorus, F, C, G, and we have that A, C, D to take us back into riff A. Verse again. Can just do these power chords if you want. A, C, D. Now at this point, let's go back and talk about those harmonics that happened in the intro. So after the first intro here, we got, you got that. So let's talk about those harmonics from the intro. We're going to have a D string 12th fret. And that was 7 and 7, D string down to G string. And then just reverse those notes. Okay, so it's 12, 7, 7, 7, 7, 12. And then we're going to go B string, G string, and D string on these 12s. To the 3rd string, G string 7 there. So it's. So all we did the second time is we went to the 2nd string, 7th fret for the last note. And then the last one is, starts the same, but we're going to end with this riff. And we could be doing that here, but on this guitar I can't slide up so easy to hit the octave, so I'm doing it down here. 8 on the 1st string, bend the 8 on the 2nd, up and down to the 6, to the 7 on the G, and then it's pretty easy to kind of slide up to your octave of that one. Be like the 19th fret. Okay, so once again, harmonics, we got. Okay, then we got that riff A. Okay, so we have the intro with the harmonics, we have that riff A, we get into a verse, we get into a chorus, we go back into the riff A, verse, chorus again. Then we have a bridge that uses the harmonics again to get into the solo, but it's going to be a little bit shorter with the harmonics. It's going to go. And then do a little 15th fret on the 2nd, slide down in between these two riffs. Okay, and then just those two is getting this into the. We get into Alan Collins' first solo. We're going to do that a little bit later. We're going to look at the solo rhythm right now. It's going to go. So that ended with like a slide down and a 1, 2, 3 on the big string to that D 5th fret A string. Kind of has that A, C beginning again, so we got. Okay, then we're gonna have. So we pick up this D chord, and then we hit the open G, 2 on the D string. This is a little new kind of walking up slightly thing, so it's 2, 2, 0, 2, and then 3, 3, 0, 3 on the A string, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, then we're gonna have this double lead that happens. We're gonna go D power chord for the rhythm guy, F, C and G just like the chorus, but we're gonna go G to the F, and then our A riff. But it's gonna end with that. And then you're into a new verse. Okay, so the solo rhythm one more time was. Okay, and we're going to get into the double lead in the next lesson when we do all the leads. Let's talk about kind of the ending of the song here. We had another verse, chorus, another riff A twice. This is the outro solo rhythm. It's a little new thing. We got. So it's like the first half of that last thing we were just doing, but it just repeats over and over again and fades out. Keeps it kind of more simple that way so you can focus on the lead. Now their live ending is going to be kind of a rest, and then these hits, it's kind of like a rest. So you got that 1, 2, 3, 5. End with that unison bend here. We got the 3 on the second string, 5 on the G string bending. So, okay, one more time for the ending. We got 3, 4, 1. And as one guy's doing that unison, somebody else is hitting a big D chord there. Okay, so that's the intro rhythm to Workin For MCA by LYNYRD SKYNYRD. We're gonna have a B power chord. We're gonna go from the D to the D flat. Some tabs will tell you it kind of splits that chord like that, but I don't know, it seems like both power chords move to me, so 5 to 4. Take that pinky on the 7 of the big string, the E string, kind of down towards the 4, so it's. And then by the time you get down to the 4 with that pinky, you gotta go on the A power chord, so we got. And then we're gonna hammer into that B note, 2nd fret of the A string. E power chord, and a hammer on 2 to 4. Now I've seen it done with 2 to 5, but they both kind of sound good, but I think it is 2 to 4. So we have. Back to that B power chord. To the A once, and then 2 to 4 on the A. Back to the E power chord. So 2, 3, and. Okay, and when that's going on, you have a second guitar part going. Okay, so it's 9 on the A string. It's a little chord, the 2 7s on the bottom strings there. And then we have a 7/6 on the D to that 9 on the A, so kind of a staccato 7. And then a 7 to 9 to 6 down here in the D. And then back to 9/6 one more time, and then you're back to the. So this one holds that note and doesn't have as many notes. So both parts again, we got 3, 4, and. Little pinch harmonic on that sometimes. Okay, so that goes on for a little while, and then we're gonna have the change. Okay, so we have like a F sharp power chord notes. We have 2, 4, 4, 4. We got a 2 on the D string, slight bend a little bit, 4 on the A, 5 and 2 on the E string. So all in the F sharp minor pentatonic scale there. So this one we went down to the G string, 2 to 4 back on the D. And then we go back to the first one. Now this last one, go to that 2 on the D again. And then go to that 4 on the A to the E power chord. So okay, and then there's an octave one of that. And you can do that on the 9th fret here on the A string if you want. 9, 11, 11, 9, 11, 12, 9. 10 on the second, 9, 11 there. And then here we'd have, you go to the 10 and the 11, then a chord of these 2 9s here. So the last one is 10, 11 on the G and B strings, 9s there. Okay, now you can do that up here like I started. That's 14th and 16th frets with the 17 up here. Down to that 14 on the G. Now here you could go. You could go to the 14 and 13. But it's kind of like easier to have that over here, so it might be better to go up here. I think I did see Alan Collins do it way up here, though. And he would even hit some whammy bar stuff as he's holding out some of these last notes. Like, wow, wow, wow. There is another rhythm part in the song where there's like a breakdown where it's like. Right, big build up. That's just the F sharp power chord. It's like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a doodle-da-doom, bow. And then they're back into the main thing. Okay, so in the intro, let's go back to the intro. There's a second guitar part where we're doing this rhythm. Right, when we're doing that, there's a second part, and this is at the very beginning of the song when the band comes in. It's like, and down. Hits this 9 and 11. So it's 9 on the D, 11 on the G. Then hits again. And then this time it slides down one and back. And then it hits one more. And then we have a little lead that starts. So we got, that was 11 on the G, to the 12 on the B, and then a hammer on 10 to 12. So that's a 1.5 step bend down to the 10. 7, 10, 7. You could hammer it or you could slide it. Sounds kind of cool sliding. I think he might have slid it. Here we had the 9 on the G string. Up and down, pull off, and then 9 to 9 on the D. So we had 7 there, a couple bends on the 9, so it's. bends there, and then same riff, and then so that was 7/9 on the G, 7 on the B, back to the 7 on the G, 9 on the D. So that whole lead one more time, we got. Okay, and that happens again later in the song too, that same little solo. So moving on, we've got some fills and some verses. There's a fill that comes in there. So you bend the 7 on the G string. Kind of like 4 hits or so, and bend it down to the 4 down there. So it's like. Something like that. So there's a slightly different way to do this main rhythm as well. It's like. You get that kind of upstroke right there. Or you could even be like bass the chord. Adds a little thing in there. Okay, now we have a little solo by Gary Rossington. It's gonna go. So we got kind of aim towards the 15 of the 2nd string or so, and then we're gonna go to the 7th fret of the G. So it's like. So 7 to 6, back the other way, 7 to 9. 9 on the D, so. Now we have a pull off, 9 to 7 on the D, to 9 on the A. So slide into the 9 on the A, and then 7 to 7, 9 on the D. Pull it off, and then bend it up twice. Down to the 7, and then. Okay, so the whole thing we got. Let's back in. Okay, there's one more fill. It's just like this other one we had on the 7, but it's like on the 10 on the 2nd string, and it goes down to the 7. Okay, now there's a fill in the chorus. We got. Okay, so that's a fill that happens in the chorus. 4, and then to the 2 on the G string there, and then 12th fret of the E string. Kind of bend it up and then hit it normal. Couple bends there, hold it. And then there's one more fill to think about. It's like last verses or last chorus. It's like 10 up, down, 7. And you got your 10, 9, 7 to the 9. Okay, so that's the opening of Saturday Night Special by LYNYRD SKYNYRD. We're gonna have, that's the 9s on the A and the D, going down to 7s, kind of a pull off, and then back to those 9s, pick those when you come back. And then a quick staccato hit on the D and G string, 7s. So we got to the 9s, kind of a chip in between them. And that was a big E open to the 7 and 7 on the A and D. So we got. Now the next one's gonna go. So we did the D and G string, 7 to 9. So dum da 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 dum dum up to the 11s. So the whole thing of this first line is 3, 4. Okay, so the third one was the same as the first one, and then we have bum, 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 and we pick all those instead of pulling it. Sevens, bigger sevens, then down to the lower sevens. And you can go to those nines, or you can also add the big E and the 7th fret to get that E power chord in it. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So they have an odd number of beats there. They have 7 beats they hold that for. So when it comes at you on that next part, it kind of hits you by surprise. So that last one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's our next riff. So that's 5 power chord, 5 and 7, up to 7 and 9, so A to B. And then we're going D on the 10th fret down to B on the 7th. We do that one again. Got the big E, and then 5 to 7, so the whole thing is 3, 4. Now the second time we're gonna go. So that's 5 and 7 on the lower string down. We got the A and D strings to the A bass, and then 5 to 7 on the power chords. So the whole thing here, 3, 4. Okay, so that goes 3 times because that's setting up the verse and then the verse twice. So this next part we have, we're gonna hold that. It's really 2 guitars, so one of them's going on that A string, and then D string and back. The other one's going. The other one goes. Now you could do them as a chord if it's just one guitar going. So we got. So that was 7s to 9s on the D and G, to the lower 9s there, to the 7s to 9s. The second time is going to go. So that was the 9s on the D and G, to the 7s, to those bigger 9s there, to the E chord at the end. So, and then we're into the chorus. Chorus is gonna go. Okay, so that was A string. We're gonna have O 1 2 to the octave of that 2. That's a B note. Here's its octave, 4th fret of the G string. And they kind of get a pinch harmonic on those on the studio version. Okay, so we do that riff 3 times. 2, 4, 2. So after we hit that 4 up there, we're gonna wait a second and go 2, 4, 2. So it's 3, 4. And then A to E, and then we got a. So 2, 3, 4, open. Almost the same effect as if you went and slid it up to the 7 to do that riff up here. So after the second time of this one, going up to those 7s, D, G, and B. Do that one more time, and then kind of an E, and then an E power chord where you get those opens on the bottom too. So I'm making sure to mute the G string on that. Okay, then we'd be back in this part B, which is the sliding one. Okay, and that's gonna go 5 times this time because this verse doesn't have the where we hold those out. So it's just that kind of heavier riff more times. So 5 times of that, it's gonna end with, and that's where we had the 9s, the 7s on the D and G to the lower strings there, and then to the E again, Back to the chorus. 2, 3, 4. So this last one, when it goes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the 5th beat, he does a slide around to the 12 and the G string, like maybe a little bit past that. This time they threw in an extra beat instead of taking away a beat. So it's always interesting in this tune because it takes you by surprise. You're not expecting it to be like that. It's 4/4 most of the time, but they'll pop in a 3/4, pop in a 5/4. Okay, so then we're back to the first line. Now this one's gonna go a little different the second time. So this one went, we got our E, and then we went 7s to 9s on the A and D, and kind of let that slide 7s to 6s. So it's, and then we start again. Okay, so you got stuff like that. All right, now we have some fills and stuff to look at. So one thing we have is, so we have a 3 and an open down here. Hammering into the 5, couple more notes there. Hammer on pull off. Ends with a 4 to 2 on the G to 4 on the D. So then another fill that comes up is, so 7 to 10. Couple more 10s. 7 to 5, 5 to O. Then we got like a open, 2 open, or a 2 open to 3 and a second to 4. So it's like, okay, so those fills pop in, cool fills everywhere. And then right before we get to a solo, we're gonna have a thing, kind of have a bend on that 7th fret, so listen for that one. So on the solo, we're gonna hold out these chords. We're gonna go, and each time it's gonna go to that higher string. So we got the 5 to 7 on the A bass, and back to those. So all 4 of these would be 3, 4. Okay, that sets up Gary Rossington's solo in there. And then we're gonna get back into where we don't hold it out. So it's, let's try that together. 2, 3, and. Then we get into that 2 guitar thing. Okay, that was the chorus again, and then we have that part B. Now at the end here, what happens is one of the guitars will echo that. So one of them's going dum, and you follow that one. So let's try that. I'll play the first one and you do the answers. So your answers will be ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. See what I mean? So 2, 3, 4. Ba-dum, 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 da-dum. Okay, and then at the end of the song, we're gonna go. That was 7 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 10, 10 to 7, 7 to 5, hold that, and then you got one big last B power chord at the end. Okay, so jumping back to the intro, we got to fill in here after the... Okay, so that's kind of a simulation of what it sounds like. So we'd have like a hammer on. You could also do it here. I wrote it here. That puts you closer to that 10th fret up here, but you could also hit it over here with 5s into the little 7. So yeah, they're the same thing. Now, it's going to end with a O, 10, 12, and a little 10. And then a different guitar hits this, but you can kind of put it together with that part if you want. So it's something like that. We had that one, it was the... And then we got another one, we got... And we had a... Right before the solo, we got that. And then when the solo comes in, we got... 10th fret, 2nd string, hold that one. And then we got this chord here. It's 9 on the G, 10 on the B. We go... Okay, so he does that a lot in this solo. It's kind of a real Gary Rossington kind of trick. And when we come down, we're going to have like a... Okay, so... And that's your 7s on the G and B. 9s to 7s to this 9. And he's got a big slide there at the end. So this whole solo would be like... Now the second solo of his goes... So that's a 15 on the 2nd string, 2-step bend. 12 to 14. Back into that one. And then we're going to have that chord again. Okay, so it's going to have 3 of those bends up and then a down. 7s to 9. 2 7s, 9, 7. So we got a bend on that 9. 9, 7, 9. Bend that 10 up again. So this whole thing is like... Okay, and sometimes I do a little trick like that at the end. Okay, then the next one is going to start with that bend again. And they're going to go... So that's our first thing, is like after the beat we got boom. And that'd be one where they take the beat away so it surprises you when he comes in with the solo. So it's like boom. So 2 already bent, coming down, 2 sets. 7s to 9, up and down. 7 to 9 again. So that one comes down again, 2 of them. 7s to bigger 9. 2 of those, and then we got... So a bend on the, kind of a up and down and back up on that 10. Little 10 below it. A couple bends on that 7. So 9, 7, 9 on the D. And then a 7, 9 there, G to D. And then we get into this riff. So it's those 9s to 7s to the bigger 9. And sometimes they'll go... Sometimes they do that little hammer in there. But you can kind of get that from giving that a little bend too. Kind of up and down on that chord thing. And then we got this one again. Okay, so that was just a little longer. We got... Just like we had before, and then... Pull off, 15 to 12, 12 to 14, hammer on, pull off, take that one down, and then we got 10 to 12, a little bend on that 10 there, and then we're going to have Okay, so just check out the tab on this. It's just a string of, and he would kind of do it a little bit different all the time. So you can kind of feel your thing out, just kind of knowing what notes you have to work with and that chord and stuff. So to be. Bend that 10 up, and then we'll have the chord a little bit again. Down, down, down. So that last one ends with a 3 downs and a 7 to 9 on the G to 9 on the D. Okay, so that's the intro of I Ain't the One, Lynyrd Skynyrd. We start out with this little slight bend on the 3 of the A string with a 2 down here in the G string. We're muting the one in between, so we got. And then we pause for an 8th note of the next measure. We're gonna go. And then we repeat this little phrase. We got the octave of the A, and it's the 2 over here in the G string, it's octave. We're gonna go 3 to 4 in the A, and then back to that octave thing. And that's a riff we're gonna do 3 times. So it's like rest. Okay, so we did it 3 times, then we're back to this rest. 3 more times. And then D to E power chords here, 5th to 7th off the A string. And then there's a little lead that comes in, and we have a rhythm here that goes like this. So A power chord, and then A bass note, 3 to 4 in the A, back to the power chord. So it's. We hit the C power chord twice, and we go. Just 1 G power chord, then C, C. And then we get into these chords, 7s on the D and G, to 5s, 1 extra 5s, and then a 7s to 5s on the A and D strings. So we got. Okay, so the whole beginning we got. Then the verse starts. Okay, so the verse is going to be kind of the same stuff, except for instead of 2 G's, we're going to go a couple pull-offs there. So it's going to go. Kind of hit a 1 note G there instead of the chord all the time. Give it a little bend kind of thing. So we got. Got those 7s and 5s again. So here we come up to the D chord, 10th fret, big strings here, power chord. So we kind of hit the chord or the bass note a few extra times. So you can go kind of bump, ba-da, and then hammer, hammer, 10 to 12 in the 2 big strings. So we got. So 10s, 9s, and then you can go to the 12s or the 7s. 7s on the D, G, or 12s on the A and D. So we got. So this one goes dum, da, da, hammer, hammer, da, 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 dum, to those bigger 12s. 10s to 12s on those lower ones. Okay, so the verse we got. Back to the A. Now we're to the E. We got. Okay, so that's big E string. Hit it once and then hit it twice. Pull off 5 to 2 on the A string, and then followed by the E again. So, and then a 4 to 2 pull off. Slight bend kind of on that 3, 4, 2, 4. So it's. So this one just has the 4 to 2 without the hammer on in there. Third one's gonna be the same as the first. Now this fourth one's gonna go. We'll go to the open E after that 4-2. Right into the D to C power chords. Okay, and then we got a little quick lead. We're back into another verse and chorus and stuff like that. So let's take a look at the lead that happens. So we're going to slide into that 11. And then we're going to go to the 12 on the second string. That was on the G string. And then we're going to go. So bending that 12 up and down, pull off to the 10. Okay, back to the 10. Then we're bending the little 12 up. So we go up and down, and then we go up and down in that 12. So we got. Bending the 20 on the second string. And then we go 20, 17 on the second. Bend the 19 on the G. Down, then 17, 19. 19 on the D. So we got. Okay, back into another verse. You got the same kind of changes and stuff going on. Then we have a breakdown getting us into the main solo. We got. Okay, so this is the octave thing. All we're doing is the A bass and the other A here on the G string, 2nd fret. But we have some pull-offs that make it interesting. Okay, so it's always just. Here we have a bass after that pull-off. And then you have like a. Some pull-offs. So it's. End of this we end up going. Okay, then that does it again, and then the lead starts. So it's. And then the lead's like. Okay, so we have 19 on the D and 17 on the G, and it's kind of like a. Okay, so it's kind of, you have that lower and higher note kind of working together. We're going to go to this 14 bar, the D and G strings. We're going to have a pull off in the 17, 14. We got like 4 of those, and we got bending that 17 on the G, big bend, and then. So we got the 17 up and down, 14, 14. Okay, so we got. Here we bent into the 14, 14. So just a variety of weird different kind of bends, you know. So here we had a big bend, regular one. And we're always having that 14 as the low note. So 14, 14. 14, 15, 17, 14. So we got. Okay, so it's just a variety of bends on that 17th fret. 2 bends, and then we start getting a big bend. We got like 3 sets of the 17 and 15. Then 20 we're gonna bend. So 20, 17, we're gonna bend this 19. Back into the 17, 20. Do that twice. Then we go up and down. 17 to the lower 19. Okay, so we got this 19, 19, 19. 17, 19, 17. A little bit of a bend on that. Lower 19. Kind of slide that down. Now we're getting into this E shape. We're going to slide into the 13 on the G string, and then we're going to get in this bar in these 12s here. Have a pull off down here, 15, 12, the lower 12. So here we have like a regular bend and then a little bend. 12, 12, 12. Bend that second string, 15. So we got. And then we have. So 12, 15, bend. 12, 15. Up and down to the 12, 14, 14. Dump, bump, bend, and bend, and bend. So here we have a little quick slide into the 14 on the D. Okay, so just look at it slow. 14, 14. 12, 14, 12. Now here we have a 14 and 12, kind of a unison. Little 12, 15, bend here. More of these same kind of riffs, you know. So bow da dee doo da dee down. Then we come up here to the 19. Then we come to the 19. We got so 2 of these. Bend 19, 17, 20 then. Up and down. Down to that lower note. So 19, 17, 19, 17. Quick one down to that 15. That's 17. So it ends up being. Then we got like a into the 7, 5, 7, 7. Kind of bend that 5. So it's 3, 4. And then we got so unison bend, 17 on the second, 19 on the third. 2 of those, 17 on the G. Bend that 20 on the second string. Come on down. And then you got it's kind of a slide up, down, and then a 8th fret, second string. Bend it again to the 5, 7, 5, 7, 5. Okay, then at the end of the song, we got this breakdown where it's like. So it kind of combines like the intro and that kind of middle break because it has that kind of thing. So it's. And then the end is going to have these chords. D to C, A to G, and then you're back to A. I might do it way up here. All right, I ain't the one, Lynyrd Skynyrd. Hope you dug that. 3 pages of tabs. Talk to y'all soon.